Welcome to the Practical World Podcast, your gateway to work insights and captivating stories from Thailand and beyond. This is the real world. This is the Practical World Podcast.
All right, let's dive into this Thailand's Naka Cave. Have you ever heard of this place?
Yeah.
I mean, the pictures I saw, just wow, it's like something straight out of like a fantasy movie, you know?
Mhm.
These giant rock formations that look like, well, giant snakes.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Really captures the imagination, right?
Definitely. And it's not just the looks, it's all the legends and stories and beliefs tied to it. That's what we're going to dig into today. So, like, we've got these articles, a YouTube video, the whole shebang. I'm ready to get the full picture. Where do we even start with a place like this?
Well, let's set the scene first, right? Naka Cave, it's in Phu Lanka National Park. That's in Muangkan Province, Thailand. And get this, it's near the Mekong River. So picture this. You're hiking through this dense green forest, and bam, you stumble upon these massive sandstone structures. Some are like 30 meters high. And they look like, just like you said, giant snake scales twisting and turning all throughout this cave.
It's crazy. Like, how does something like that even happen naturally?
Well, geologists, they call it sun crack or muck crack. Basically, over millions of years, the sandstone, it's from the late Cretaceous period, so think dinosaurs roaming around.
Right. Wow.
So it's been exposed to these crazy temperature swings, super hot days, cooler nights, and that constant expansion and contraction. Well, it caused the rock to crack, forming those unique patterns.
So it's like nature's slow motion art project, huh?
Mm.
But honestly, the whole mythical side, the Naga serpent, that's way more intriguing to me.
Oh yeah, the myths definitely add to the mystique. So the Naga, it's this mythical serpent-like being, and it's huge in Southeast Asian mythology. They're often seen as protectors of rivers and water sources,
Oh, yeah.
powerful, wise, kind of like the dragons of their lore, you could say.
Ah, that makes sense why so many people in Thailand believe Naka Cave is like a gateway to some uh, underwater Naga realm.
Exactly. And there are tons of local legends tied into this. Like one tells the story of Pulu, a king who was cursed to become a Naga and guard Phu Lanka until a new city popped up. Some think that was fulfilled when Buangkan province was established, where the cave is.
Whoa, that's a serious connection to the area's history. These aren't just old wives' tales. They're woven into like the fabric of their lives there.
Totally. And there's this other legend more recent about a young guy who disappeared while meditating near Naka Cave. He reappeared in this mythical underwater city, La Play, supposedly inhabited by the Thip people.
Underwater city. Sip people. I've never heard of those. What are they all about?
That's where it gets a little fuzzy. The details about these Thip people, they're pretty mysterious. Stories vary depending on who you ask. Some say they're like a mystical race tied to the Naga. Others say they represent some hidden spiritual realm. It's kind of up in the air.
So the play, it's not just a place. It's like this idea, a realm of mystery and possibility, right? And this guy communicating with his family through the cave, that just adds to the whole portal, otherworldly vibe.
It definitely makes you think, right? And then you've got the spiritual significance of Naka Cave itself. It's a sacred place, and people go there on pilgrimages seeking all sorts of blessings, wealth, luck, protection, you name it. They believe the Naga serpent can grant these things.
That's powerful. And even just reading about it, you can feel that sense of reverence.
Oh, for sure. There's this understanding that your actions matter there. You do good, you get rewarded. Disrespect the cave or the spirits, well, bad things might happen.
So it's not just about what you get out of it, it's how you approach it, like a responsibility almost.
Exactly. And that's why they have all these recommendations for visitors. No meat, speak respectfully, don't touch the formations.
Right. It's about protecting not just the physical cave, but its like spiritual side too. It's a reminder to be a guest, not just a tourist.
Well said. And for some people, it goes even deeper. There are stories of paranormal activity at Naka Cave, sightings of mysterious figures in white traditional Thai music echoing through the caves, spooky stuff.
It's mind blowing how much this one place holds. We've talked about geology, ancient myths, spiritual beliefs, even paranormal activity. Naka Cave, it's like a tapestry woven from nature, ancient beliefs, and that human fascination with the unknown.
And that tapestry gets even richer when we look at the stories of people who've actually been there,
Mm.
which we'll do in part 2 of our deep dive. Back again, ready for more Naka Cave.
You bet. Last time we were talking about that feeling of like reverence around the cave, how people go there for blessings and guidance. It's like the journey to get there is part of the whole experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The pilgrimage is pretty central to lots of spiritual traditions, and Naka Cave fits right in. It's not just about getting to the end, it's the whole journey, the process.
I mean, what a journey. Over 1,400 steps to reach the cave. That's no joke. Talk about a physical and mental challenge.
Exactly. And a lot of people see that challenge as like a test of faith, a way to prepare yourself for the spiritual stuff waiting at the top. The physical effort kind of mirrors the internal journey, climbing towards a deeper connection.
It's wild how just getting to the cave is so tied to everything it represents. Speaking of we've got this YouTube video here, The Legend of Naka Cave. Did you get a chance to watch it?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. They really bring the legends to life, especially the story of King Pulu, the one cursed to be a Naga, remember? But there's this extra detail in the video I thought it was really interesting.
Ooh, spill the tea. What's the scoop?
So they explain why Pulu got cursed in the first place. Turns out it was from a fight with like the Naga King. Apparently, Pulu's dad and granddad, they banished the Naga King's daughter, and guess what? She was married to Pulu.
Whoa, talk about family drama. So it's not just a curse, it's this whole saga of love, betrayal, revenge, all playing out with these mythical figures.
Yeah.
It makes Pulu a bit more uh, sympathetic, don't you think? Caught in the middle of this feud with his love story tangled up in it.
Yeah, totally. It makes it more human, more relatable, and honestly more fun to listen to. Plus, it shows how these legends are all connected, weaving together this big tapestry of beliefs and history.
It's like each story adds another thread to that tapestry, making it richer and more multi-layered. And that complexity, it reflects our own experiences, even when it's through myth and stuff. These aren't just stories. They're like windows into our own feelings, motivations, all that.
Definitely. And the video also mentions the paranormal stuff we talked about, especially that story about the young guy meditating near the cave.
Oh, yeah, the one who was going to become a monk and then vanished. This is where it gets really trippy because they say he ended up in La Playa, that underwater city we were talking about.
Yeah, and even though he couldn't physically come back, they say he could talk to his family through this narrow passage in Naka Cave.
So even though it's all shrouded in mystery, it still speaks to that like human need to connect with the unseen. Like maybe there are other realms out there just beyond what we can normally see.
Exactly. And that desire, that openness to the unknown, that's part of what draws people to Naka Cave. It's a place where reality and myth kind of blur together. Ancient beliefs meet modern experiences.
It's like stepping right into a legend. But it's not just the myths and legends themselves, it's the power of belief, right? The way those stories shape how we see the world and where we fit in.
You got it. And that power of belief, it shows up in real, tangible ways at Naka Cave. It affects the people who visit, the communities around it.
That's a great point. We've been so deep in the mythical stuff that we haven't talked about the cultural side, especially now that it's become such a popular spot.
And that's a whole other story, a fascinating and complicated one. It's about finding the balance between protecting a sacred place and dealing with all the opportunities and challenges that come with more and more tourists.
It's like we're moving from myth and legend into real world consequences. This is where it gets serious, huh?
It does. And it's a key part of understanding Naka Cave. We'll jump into that in part 3 of our deep dive.
It's been quite a ride exploring Naka Cave, right? From those amazing snake-like rock formations to the myths and the spiritual side of it all.
Yeah, it's really incredible how nature, myth, and human belief all come together in a place like this.
And now we're shifting gears a bit, looking at how all the attention Naka Cave's getting is affecting the people in the area, especially with keeping it, sacred and protected.
It's something happening all over as more people want to experience these amazing places.
So what are some of the downsides to all this tourism in Naka Cave?
Well, one of the biggest worries is damage to the cave itself. More people means more footsteps, and that can lead to erosion, trash, even accidental damage to those delicate sandstone formations.
Yeah, we've seen it happen before at other places.
Mhm.
It's so sad to see a place like that get messed up because of, well, carelessness or disrespect, really.
It is, and it's not just the physical stuff, it's also about protecting the spiritual side of things. Nake Cave is more than just a tourist spot. It's a sacred place for a lot of people.
And with more tourists, there's that risk of losing that spiritual aspect or even turning it into like a commodity.
Right, it's about finding that balance, sharing this incredible place with the world, but also making sure its cultural and spiritual heart stays protected.
Sounds tough. But are there things being done to deal with these challenges, like to promote responsible tourism at Naka Cave?
Thankfully, yes. Our sources mention that now you got to book your visit ahead of time through an app, and they limit how many people can be in the cave each day.
That's good. Shows they're taking it seriously, trying to manage things.
Right.
Is there anything to teach visitors about the cultural and spiritual side of Naka Cave?
Yeah, they give visitors information explaining why respectful behavior is so important. All the stuff we talked about, no meat, respectful speech, not touching the formations, it's all emphasized.
That's great to hear. It shows they're trying to protect not just the looks of the cave, but also its cultural and spiritual history. It's like travel isn't just about checking things off a list, it's about connecting with different cultures and respecting what they believe in.
Couldn't agree more. And Naka Cave is a great example of that. It pushes us to broaden our view of the world, to see how science, myth, and belief all play a part, and to understand why protecting these places is so important for everyone now and in the future.
This has been an incredible journey exploring Naka Cave. We've gone from how it was formed to its legendary status and from its spiritual importance to the real world challenges of sharing it with everyone.
And as we wrap up our deep dive, I'm left with this feeling of awe and a new appreciation for how everything's connected. Naka Cave. It's like a mini version of the world, a world where nature inspires us, where old myths and beliefs shape who we are, and where we got to keep trying to find that balance between exploring and protecting.
Beautifully put. And for you listening, as you go out and explore the world, whether it's far away or right in your own backyard, remember to be curious, be respectful, and be open to the mysteries all around us. Until next time, keep exploring.
Thank you for joining. This is the Practical World Podcast.